Today's episode of Wine Time Fridays is brought to you in part by our friends at Seasons of Coeur d'Alene and J. Bookwalter Wines.
It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil on this Friday. Shelley, November 21st. Episode 292. Happy Friday. We're getting into it. It's wine time. She chose the little one. Today we have another guest. And today we are excited that you'll probably be able to hear what we're saying much better. Uh-oh. We can only hope. Last week, struggles. There was challenges of recording in a wine bar or restaurant. I don't know if we're going to do that anymore. Just don't think so. Too much work on my end. Today we have David Hoffman from Total Wine in is it pronounced Spokane?
Spokane.
Spokane.
You would think it would be Spokane, but
Spokane
Valley.
Spokane Valley, and one of the wine buyers there.
For the store, some local buying. Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely.
One of the somms that work there and help you, and we ran into David. Were you with me, or did I do that all by myself?
I think I was there.
I ran into him when buying some wine there, and we struck up a conversation,
great.
Exchanged cards, and voila, here we are. And so we are going to talk about your holiday wine survival kit.
We have them. We have a lot of them.
Yeah. Do you actually have little things put together for the holidays?
We do stuff like that. We also have like pre-picked out bottles that, if you want something curated for you just to grab and go. And we have a lot of tools in our deck.
I mean, how many square feet do you have in that store?
I don't know the exact amount, but over 8,000 wines.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
A lot.
Well,
and we're a smaller to medium-sized store. I mean, there are much larger stores on the East Coast.
Sure. Well,
are they in all 50 states?
They are not. So Total Wine's been around for a long time. Started by two brothers, Robert and David Trone. So two very smart but love wine businessmen, and almost 300 stores. But they're in every state that is legal to, not state controlled.
Yeah.
So like Montana, we're not there. Idaho, we're not
Utah.
there. Utah, we're not there. Oregon, we're not there.
Idaho state controlled.
Yeah, it's state controlled liquor. So that would be, a significant amount of our business. So it doesn't make sense to go into those states. So,
where was I just?
Seattle.
Yeah, but I was surprised because Seattle doesn't have liquor stores anymore. Their liquor is in the stores. It didn't always used to be that way.
Yeah, well, we have a ton of stores over in the Seattle area.
Yeah.
So, big part of our business.
8,000 wines, you say. Yeah. We're going to taste through 5 of them
We have
today.
5, yep.
Starting with the sigh of release. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is a non-vintage. Oh,
nice.
That was a nice poppy sigh.
That's pretty.
Oh, it is pretty. This is a
beautiful one.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about this while we?
Yeah,
because I poured hard.
We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna drink some wine. This is a beautiful bottle. So this is a non-vintage Franciacor. This is a sparkling wine that comes from the Lombardy area of Italy, which is going to be in the north part of Italy. A little bit warmer than Champagne, but this is, in my humble opinion, on par with some of your Grand Cru champagnes. Beautiful little sparkling wine. So this is the only sparkling wine in Italy that is made in the Champagne method.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, well, we have to do a proper Wine Time Fridays toast, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Before to health, wealth, and abundance, gratitude, romance,
and peace on earth. I like that 3.
That's nice. Okay, let's.
So pretty cool little wine. Most people in the United States don't know a lot about Franciacors. They don't produce anywhere near what champagne produces, which
Holy cow. We got some bubbles.
That
went right on back.
Nice fine bubbles, micro bubbles. That's what I love about Franciacor and really good champagne is just there's so many more bubbles and they're more refined than like your typical like Brut, sparklers that you get around,
So this is the Franciacor, right?
Franciacorta.
Oh, Corda. Okay, got it. And that's not the grape.
No. So traditionally in Franciacorta, it's a smaller village in Lombardy. The grapes that are permitted are going to be Pinot Nero, which is what they call Pinot Noir. Pinot Blanco is another one, which is white Pinot Noir. Also Chardonnay. And then there's a small little grape that's pretty rare. They're called Herbamont. But this is 100% Pinot Noir, Pinot Nero.
Okay.
And this one is aged 24 months.
Interesting.
On the lees.
On the lees.
Yeah. So that means obviously on the dead yeast cells.
Yep.
It's going to provide like some of that yeasty flavor.
Well, of course,
delicious. I love this one.
Champagne method then you've got to disgorge that and the whole kit and caboodle, freeze it.
Yep.
Get your hands all cold unless they're doing it with machines, which I don't know.
Yeah. So in Italy, everything is hand harvested in this area. So most of the producers there, almost 75%, are 100% organic. It's not required as a DOCG, which in general, they were a DOCG. I think they got certified in like 74 or something like that. So, they have come a long way with their certification and their famousness of their wines. 17 million bottles a year on average.
Oh boy.
Versus 300 million in champagne. So these are a lot rarer. And I think they are some of the best sparkling wines in the world.
And it's amazing they can do all the hand harvesting and bring it over here for this price point.
I mean, it's $40.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily an inexpensive per se sparkler, but let's compare it to some of those champagnes that you can't get. For Daphne, our assistant, is like, I need some champagnes. And I'm like, I need a case. It's like, well, you probably can find one for $50. No, I need a case for our wedding. This was before she knew they were getting married. She just expected it.
And she wanted real champagne.
She
does
some work.
Doesn't know the difference between
she does some work on Wine Time Fridays, the socials, and so she's learning. And so Daphne, you're going to have to start listening more.
And that's common. Like when people come into the store, they'll say, hey, I need a bottle of champagne. And so my team that, I take a lot of pride in like helping train, and Total Wine & More does a fantastic job in training our teams.
Yeah.
They can get certified through what they call a Total Wine Professional Program, which is a very, very extensive a series of tests to take in order to be certified to be able to talk about wine. But most people will come in and say, I'm looking for a bottle of champagne, but they don't always mean they want real champagne.
It's a pet peeve of ours. I think it's a pet peeve of ours, but because it drives me nuts we were at an event a couple, 3 weeks ago, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But there was a number of run up to the event where we understood there was going to be a champagne that was served reception wine. And I asked over and over, and they said yes. And then
is it real champagne?
Is it
real champagne?
It was a fine sparkler from Do Epic Shit. Okay,
not bad. I love Browne. They're amazing.
Exactly. In fact, do we have a Browne here tonight?
Yeah,
we do. So yes, the sparkler's fine. It's a sparkler. Okay, this is a sparkler done in the method that the
To be fair, you may not know, but the Brut sparkler from Browne is made in the champagne method.
No,
but not really from champagne. Right?
No, exactly. But see, that's the whole thing. Don't. What is the other one? Oh, of course, Scotch. Now, Scotch has to be from Scotland.
Yeah.
There's all of these little rules, and this podcast, we are trying to. David really liked his sparkler. I should give him some.
A little bit more.
I love bring a stopper for this either.
I love Franciacortas. They're beautiful wines.
It's
super rare.
It is ballet pink. But I mean, it's our podcast. We tried to educate in a non
Naughty way.
snooty way, right? Because the wine industry for years has been prideful of pushing people away. This is for the elite.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got a baseball cap on and a shirt. Now, of course, David came dressed in a Fossenab shirt,
Yeah,
probably wearing a Robert Talbot. Thank you.
Wait, hold on.
tie.
Let's check.
Robert Talbot. And I was going to say Daskell came to my mind. Robert Daskell. That's a completely different, colorful tie. Anyway, Robert Daskell, Fossenab, spread.
Robert Talbot.
Robert Talbot, that's right. So this is fantastic. This is really good.
Yeah, this is a rosé. These are a lot more rare to make. Usually they're Satins, they call them, or Chatons, are going to be their Blanc de Blancs for the most part, like
Right.
Chardonnay, Pinot Blanco.
Yeah.
But man, they're beautiful wines. Even their reserves, like their Millésimes, I think they call them, are aged up to 60 months. So these, in my opinion, rival true champagne, but for a half or to a third of the cost. And if you can find them out there, if you've never had a Franciacor, they are beautiful, beautiful sparkling wines. So
For sure,
always
they are.
recommend them to people. But I agree with you, Phil, about people coming into stores and being intimidated.
Yeah. And look at all the different, 8,000, okay?
Yeah, where do you
8,000
start?
different wines, right? And so you get, now you guys do a nice job of putting information on the shelves, which I really appreciate. You know, it's a nice thing also. You will have on some of the wines, it'll be so-and-so's favorite on your staff. That I think is huge.
Yeah.
Because, I'll go in and look. It's like, between these two, well, this person seems to like this. I don't know either of them because I've not tried either of them.
And I think that's pretty important too. I don't require my team to put their pictures on anything. They have to. The only caveat is they have to have had that wine or that spirit, and to be able to speak to it. So they're going to have people that follow their palate, and so you could track that person around the department and be like, "Oh, this is Chris." Chris is one of our guys. Super cool gentleman. He's been in the business for a long time, 30 years at Rose Hours as the wine buyer there, and so people will come in and say, "I'm just buying from Chris's picture." And so that really simplifies.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it makes it easy. And I appreciate that.
It also gives your staff a little bit of ownership in a sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're putting their name on it.
Absolutely.
And it for people that don't know, the palate is a real thing. Okay, I've said this forever. Tom's palate, Tom from Studio 107, his palate, is so much like what I like.
Yeah, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
But there are people here in town, not to mention any names, that their palate isn't like mine.
Yeah. And I think that's important too, because the subjectivity of wine is real and it's important. And so I think for me, like as a somm, I'll ask people, tell me what you've had in the past so I can make recommendations. But when a customer or a client gravitates to your picture and they start trusting your palate, then you'll find people just going to your picture.
It's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, David's not here, or Casey's not here, or Paul's not here at the moment. I'm just going to grab this bottle that Paul likes.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
They do a great job. So can't talk enough. But this is a 95 pointer from Decanter. Which I really appreciate Decanter because they're one of the few rating critics that basically do most of their stuff blind. And this was an aggregate score on a little committee of people that specialize in Italian wines and gave it a really nice score.
Most of these tastings from Decanter or all the big ones, they don't go in blind?
Well, not necessarily. There's a lot of grayness in this area about how wines get rated and how some wines can be 100 pointer all the time. And so I've seen that, things where, there are critics that, hey, you're going to be tasting another bottle of Opus One this year, the new vintage, so, hey, I'm going to taste it because it's Opus One. And guess what? It automatically gets a 98 pointer. It has nowhere to go but up. There's a lot of that, but in general, Decanter is kind of the agency that I follow. And I appreciate their objectivity when it comes
That's
to wine
huge.
rating. So, but just to be able to say, and I always tell customers too, like, don't worry about the rating. At the end of the day, like, if you like it, that's all that matters.
Look, they can make really nice labels that are catchy.
Yeah.
That actually sell the wine.
Yeah, and they do.
And that's fantastic. If the wine sucks, you're never going to buy that again.
Nope.
And so you probably want to make a good product behind that good label. Now, the same thing with scores. It's still someone's opinion.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Yeah, and I always tell people to take it lightly. You know, it's a guideline.
Sure.
It's going to help you understand that, hey, you know what? Somebody who likes this wine said it's a pretty good score. It's a 90 pointer. So a good solid A minus.
Sure.
You know? And that might be a good starting point. So but yeah, beautiful wine. I'm gonna dump this one because, man, I'm excited about this next one.
That was a 12.5% alcohol.
12.5. Oh, I like that.
Oh,
We don't necessarily have to do a rinse pour on this, I'm thinking.
No, heck no.
Okay, beautiful.
That's anathema. That's horrible. No more rinse pouring ever.
Well, we may have to when we go to that first red.
Yeah.
But we'll do that during the break so that no one sees us do a rinse pour.
Bouncing around.
This is a Brockmeyer family Vineyards Albariño. One of our very favorite is Albariño.
What do you like about it?
I like it. The crispness. I like it's fruity, and there's always seems to be a little effervescence to it.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Hashtag cheersing.
Yeah.
Cheersing.
Cheers.
We don't have to do that on every one because it gets a little redundant.
That's right.
But we do want to, because I don't know if you've known. Oh, it's wine time. We have a hashtag. It's cheersing. Thank you, Brian, for coining that. I had dinner with Lindsay and Brian last week in Seattle, and we were placed on Capitol Hill, and I had another Wine Time Fridays hat, and I brought that up. You know, you coined cheersing. He's like, yeah, and I turned the hat around, and he's like, oh. So,
do they have a hat? He maybe needs a hat.
But he'll use it for working and get it all sweaty and gross.
You didn't leave him a hat with his famous saying?
No.
Okay, Christmas
How could-
presents.
Yeah.
God, I feel so shamed right now and bullied. Okay, Albariño.
Yeah.
This is a little fizzy.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of fizz on this.
That's not
Sometimes
okay.
initially out of the bottle, there will be a little bit of effervescence there.
2024.
Yeah, so relatively young, right? And, you know, this will age for a little bit. Not necessarily something you have to age, but this is from Brett Brockmeyer. So Brett Brockmeyer, a pretty famous guy from a famous family out of Napa. His dad, they called him Brock, so Brockmeyer. But he kind of scouted vineyard property throughout Napa for winery or people who are interested in starting.
Finish. Sorry.
No,
Great finish.
I'd rather
This thing's going.
I'd rather drink wine than talk
no.
about history. But Brett came from a wine family, basically. And so went to UC Davis. Super smart guy, super tall, like 6'6" or something ridiculous like that.
Sounds like could be Brock cured. All those Brocks are tall.
Yeah, this guy's pretty tall. But he was Gavin Newsom's assistant winemaker at Plumjack.
Okay.
Brett left California for a couple of reasons. One of them was to get away from
California.
Gavin Newsom.
Good
Do you sell
choice.
Plumjack?
We do not sell Plumjack in my store.
Okay.
However, in other stores we do.
Yeah, probably in California for sure.
And, you know, I've had it. The wine is fantastic. Brett was the assistant winemaker there. And then Plumjack Wine Group owns 3 different wineries. There's Cade and Odette is another one. But Brett was the head winemaker at Cade.
Okay.
And so really great example of a very good winemaker who starts out with great fruit. This Albariño comes from Yakima. It is delicious, in my opinion. I mean, it just tastes like peach, white peach.
Yeah,
I mean,
good call.
It's dry. It's not overtly dry. I mean, there's
Nice acid.
the acidity is what really makes this thing like delicious. And I love Albariños during this time of the year because when you're thinking about like Thanksgiving and Christmas, like this is a palate cleanser style of wine. You know, without knocking you in the face with a bunch of acidity.
Yeah.
You know? So
super soft acids
yeah.
on this. So that the Franciacor.
Franciacor.
Thank you.
Franciacor.
both of these, it seems like this Rosé sparkler would go great on Thanksgiving also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. That's why I brought it, because it will go well as a like a pre-drink, like an aperitif almost, like a pre so if you're having hors d'oeuvres or any kind of cracker stuff, the acidity in both of these wines, especially the Franciacor, is going to really lift the palate, and it's going to keep your palate fresh. A lot of times when you drink red wine or heavier wines, it's going to have a tendency to want to weigh things down, which is perfectly okay if you're eating the right food. But before dinner, you want something that's going to keep your palate fresh to enjoy dinner. So I love both of these. And Brett does a great job.
This is $21.
Yep, $21.
$21.
Only available at Total Wine More. It's also available in California. So if you live here in the Coeur d'Alene area, in Washington area, you can drive to California and pick one up, or you can just come to Total Wine.
It would seem like it'd make total sense to drive to Total Wine.
You'd be a total fool not to.
And there's our lead into the episode. Well, at least one of the options.
13.9%.
13.1 is what
13.
Is it 13.9?
Well,
Am I
that's
missing?
what
Shelley's got the.
Oh, you know what? It is 13.9. I didn't see the little loop.
Good job, Shelley.
Yep, that's why we have her here to correct me.
So Brett is currently here in Washington. He is the assistant winemaker at Dossier, which we will have an opportunity to talk about a little bit later. Enjoy one of their bottles. So beautiful wine. I just love Brett. I love his story. I love, more importantly,
I love that he left because of Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
That was meant to be happy.
Remember, Shelley, this is a non-political.
This is a non-political wine podcast.
That's right. It's a non-political.
Poor baby Gavin. He was so poor when he was young. He had macaroni and cheese.
Non-political podcast. So we're not going to talk about Gavin Newsom anymore. Oh, did I say Newsom? I'm so sorry.
Hilarious.
There goes about 13 of our California listeners.
So with all that said, I mean, Brett, he's a great guy. If you want to buy a wine from a guy who's like really committed to family, who really loves the state of Washington, his wife, Browne, is from Washington, I think. And so they're here with her family. And they just do a great job, and they're awesome. My sister and I, Shelley, I have a sister named Shelley, which is really cool.
Oh.
And
is she an EY also?
She an EY, SHELLY. Yeah, not an EY.
All right.
But my sister Shelley, she's a nurse here at Kootenai. So
good.
She started off as a NICU nurse.
That's also funny because I'm a former NICU nurse.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, seriously.
I believe you. That's crazy.
No.
Do you have a long lost brother? And you just changed your name to an
That's
EY?
right. Yeah. Maybe we're related.
Wait, is she
Something.
also from
Orange
Canada?
Orange County? No.
And where?
Southern
is
California.
She now?
So my sister lives up in Sandpoint area, right? Technically, they live in Naples, which is right between Bonners Ferry and Ponderay.
Yep.
We all grew up in California. Unfortunately, I didn't have a choice where I was born. Beautiful state, but it's just different now. But with that said, she was, I was the oldest of our 4 kids. I was 23 years old, diagnosed with stage 3 testicular cancer.
Yeah.
And at a point, I had to start giving myself injections to get my white blood cells going. And I could not stab myself. I couldn't do it. So my sister, as brave and awesome as she is, because she does crazy stuff and goes out solo hiking for 3 weeks, and she's ridiculous. But with that said, she would give me my shots. Wow. And so I think that's what kind of, planted the seed ultimately for her to become a nurse. And so been a NICU nurse now. She's at Kootenai, and she does a youth psych now. Okay. So she tackles kids and puts them on the ground when they are trying to jump through a window, unfortunately. So,
we live in a time where there's a lot of mental health
for sure,
things going on. And so we just need to figure that out and rein that in.
Much needed. But anyways, going back, my sister and I are the ones that originally met Brett in a little wine store in Walla Walla called Lagana Cellars. And Chris Lagana makes beautiful wine. And we ended up running into Brett and his wife and his little daughter running around the wine store there, the wine tasting room. And we just struck up a conversation, and
much like you and I did.
Yep. And then just turned into a really cool thing down the road. And so being able to see him again and to get to know his business and everything he does has just been a blessing. So.
We have found that in the wine world, the vast majority of people are just fun.
Wonderful, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have those 2 or 3%.
I don't even know if there is 2 or 3%.
I know they're
Maybe
there.
0.8.
You know, the ones that walk by the Revora tasting room on downtown Sherman is like, what? Idaho Estate wines?
Yeah.
Those have got to be awful.
People just don't know.
They
just
don't.
know. Yeah. And the industry, they're responsible for some of that
Sure.
reputation,
Yeah.
and I think what I try to bring to the table is, like I said, there's a story in every bottle of wine. Now, some of those stories are not very good, right? but like
most of them are.
Yeah, but most of them are there. And, the industry has really elevated the quality over the years, right? I mean, if you look at like how we used to make wine back in the day, and everybody is like, floating up in the same, in different boats, but at the same level.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of really great wine out there. And I think, demystifying it and trying to just reach people at where they're at. And helping them find what they enjoy and maybe some things they've never had and that they might enjoy later. That's part of my journey, so.
What? You expected I could read that without glasses.
You got to borrow Phil's glasses. Might be worse.
I was trying to throw Shelley a bone. And because I
didn't bring them.
I often step over her. And so... But I'll ask the question I was hoping Shelley would ask, which is, where did your passion for wine making wine fun and approachable come from and begin?
I think for me, like, it was just my journey. Like the first exposure I got to wine was through my mom.
Yeah.
Who drank
Boone's Farm?
Shitty Chablis. Can I say that?
You just did. Now, shitty in this case is not CH.
No, that's right.
Chablis, which was, didn't Gallo name their
yeah.
When they weren't supposed to, Hardy Burgundy, Chablis.
Yeah.
Which are grandfathered in.
Yeah, there's a lot of that nonsense out there. But that's how I got exposed to it. And, I abhorred it. I mean, the smell of it, I was like, whatever. But it really wasn't until I was like 23, finished chemo. With that whole bit, and had a really good friend. Her name is Cindy Adair, gorgeous girl. We were never romantically involved, but she was beautiful, just a wonderful lady. And she said, "Hey, let's go out. Let's go to a little restaurant." And we were in Old Town Pasadena, at an outdoor Italian restaurant, and we ordered food, beautiful ambiance, and a bottle of wine. I was just like, she's like, "You want to order a bottle of wine?" I'm like, "Sure." I'm just there for...
I know it's going to suck.
Yeah, hanging out with her and all that. And I remember to this day, it was a 1991 Wild Horse Pinot Noir from Templeton, California.
Really?
Which is just a little bit south of Paso. And the food, the ambiance, the whole experience, and then having that wine, it just really, that's what really started out for me.
This seems like...
My gosh.
There's always a gateway wine.
Pinot, yeah.
Well, that's in our notes. It's in my notes.
Yeah.
It's not in her notes. I always add a few notes but that is gateway wine.
It is. Super easy to drink. We sell a lot of it for the holidays.
Still that same producer.
Oh, is Wild Horse? I don't know if Wild Horse is still around. I don't carry it in my store. I would imagine they're around if we looked up on the internet, but it was a beautiful wine. If they're still making it, I'm sure it's still a beautiful wine. Central Coast California, it's beautiful Pinot Noir. But with that said, during the holidays, Total Wine and More, I mean, we have a whole aisle of Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
And we cover everything from, Washington, which we don't make a lot here, but we have a couple producers that make one. Charles Smith from K Vintner
and
one.
Eternal Wine, Brad Bingo.
Eternal Wine.
Yeah.
Willamette Valley, which is very well known for Pinot Noir, tend to be a little bit more earthy, a little more complicated. And then you have California, Burgundy, but all over Pinot Noir. And we have, dozens and dozens and dozens of bottles of Pinot Noir.
To go with turkey.
Yeah. Because it's a lighter red and it doesn't really overpower the food. It complements it. And it's a gateway wine. And if you're thinking about drinking wine for the first time on Thanksgiving, Pinot Noir is...
I mean, you can't go... I mean...
My daughter's dog is named Pinot.
That's hilarious.
Because of Pinot Noir.
Her second dog is named Zin. So there you go.
Oh, is it?
I
Really?
don't know. It should be.
Well,
Her frog is named Franc or Caddy.
So we're not tasting any Pinot Noir today, but...
We technically did with the Franciacor.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well played.
In
Yes.
sparkling form.
But they call it Pinot Nero
Yeah.
in Italy. So when in Italy. So.
Do as the Italians do. Oh, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to actually taste, I believe, a Zin. Yes.
Yes.
Shelly's new favorite varietal.
Well,
Yeah.
we came with the best producer of Zin in the world.
Perfect.
Good. Well, it was actually the first wine I sold was a Zin.
And we'll hear that story when we come back.
Okay, welcome back to Wine Time Fridays, episode 292 on this Friday, November 21st. It's Thanksgiving next week.
Oh my gosh.
So
and then
excited.
it's the Christmas holiday.
Yes. Shelly is actually dancing in a parade a week from today. A week from today, she's going to be, I hope it's nice weather down there.
I hope so too. Not like a couple
And
years
by the
ago.
way, when you go down, before you watch Shelly dance in the lighting parade down in Sherman, we've got some smells going on here. Sorry. Go to the resort, check out the Festival of Trees, especially the one from our Rotary Club. What's a core of the home?
Core of the home.
That's right. There we go.
C-O-E-U-R. Like
There we
art.
go. This is a Ridge 2021 Ridge Pagani Ranch Zinfandel. Now this is $51 at Total Wine.
Yeah.
Or
It's
$56 and a dime, maybe.
56. Every store for Total Wine has different selection of Ridge Zinfandels. First thing I want to get out there, at least as a sommelier, Ridge is, in my opinion, the best winery in the United States.
Listen,
So
that's
I'm
a ringing endorsement.
I'm throwing it out
ringing
there.
endorsement.
I'm going to start. I'm going to put on the boxing gloves, and we're gonna go Ridge. I love telling my customers.
So these first two and the last two suck.
we're
Versus
not
this
even
Ridge.
we're not even going to talk about those other ones. No. So you guys know the Judgment of Paris.
Yes.
1970.
In fact, we are about 4 or 5 months away from the 50th anniversary.
It's
We are
amazing.
working with the Stag's Leap and Chateau Montelena
Unbelievable.
to have those wines again. I just had to put that out there. You have to put it out in the universe. Anyway, yes, Judgment of Paris.
Well, let's put it out there because I'm a Ridge fan guy, right? I love Ridge. I mean, we were in the Bay Area for 16 years. I was about 20 minutes from Ridge's Montebello estate, which is up in the mountain hillside area of the Santa Cruz Mountains. 1976, the Judgment of Paris was that blind tasting between the up-and-coming Napa wines and the stalwarts of France, right? And Bordeaux.
Burgundy and Bordeaux.
Yeah, and nobody in the world at that time thought there was any other wine out there except for French wine in Bordeaux and Burgundy. And so a guy named Stephen Spurrier put together a little blind tasting. And most of it was to drive business to his wine shop in Paris.
Not a bad move.
Nope.
It's a great marketing ploy.
Yeah, and I don't think he anticipated the outcome in the sense that
I don't think anybody did.
nobody did.
Including the people from California that put their wines up there. They knew they made good wines. But when you're going and having French judges.
Yep, French judges.
Yeah, they couldn't have expected it. But when you see these judges go, this is definitely from Burgundy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, here's the funny thing for people who don't know, right? So Stephen Spurrier puts on this event. Nobody thinks it's going to be anything significant. I think there was one periodical there, so like a newspaper reporter. And, they have whites and reds, so cab blends and white Burgundy or Chardonnay. And California wins in both categories.
Yeah, and by the way,
Yeah.
because there are like I think 8 to 10 wines and reds and whites.
Yep.
They got 3 of the top 5s in both.
Right.
Something to that effect. We'll go.
But they got beat by Stag's Leap in the Cabernet, and they got beat by Chateau Montelena in the Chardonnay
I
category.
know.
And it was funny. I was in Napa about 6 weeks ago. Total Wine.
That's
Going
right.
back to Total Wine. Total Wine does an amazing job. One of the things that we get to do is Total Wine will send us on a week-long trip to California for Napa. They've done Paso trips. They do Europe trips. for managers. And so I was chosen this year to go to Napa. We visited 61 wineries.
Oh my
61.
goodness! In
and
a week.
300 wines in 6 days.
How was your
That's a
palate after that?
lot.
My palate was
Blasted.
screaming for more. Yeah, it was so great. But
Touche.
I met a gentleman at Clos de Bal,
Yeah.
which participated in the Judgment of Paris, and he was the winemaker at the time. He's now kind of an ambassador for the winery. I just forget his name, but awesome gentleman, very knowledgeable. And I asked him, I said, what happened the day after the results came out? You know, were Americans just going in droves up to Napa to buy wine? He's like, no, Americans weren't coming up. You know who was coming over? It was the French. The French were coming over to see how did we get our butts kicked,
Yeah.
and how can I be part of this area of the world to make wine?
I mean, it's a beautiful story.
Sideways, the movie.
Well,
Oh,
mean,
Bottle
that's
Shock.
Yeah.
Bottle
Yeah,
Shock, yes,
Bottle Shock.
oh, so Bottle Shock is actually a great movie too. Chateau Montelena. Is that the same wine that went over?
Yeah.
Was that one that
Yeah.
he
Both
thought it
were.
was garbage?
Yeah, something was wrong with it. It was cloudy. And
Yeah,
it had to like settle down and find out a little bit. But going back to Ridge actually was one of the wineries, actually the only Napa winery, non-Napa winery that participated. Ridge is technically in the Santa Cruz AVA.
Oh,
which
interesting.
So it's not part of Napa. It's, it's a good hour and, 15 minutes south of Napa.
Hellsberg.
Hillsburg is where they made bottle. That's where a lot of their Zinfandels come from. But the bottle that Ridge did was their Montebello Bordeaux blend. And so that's at the top of Montebello Road in the Santa Clara Valley, where Apple and all the high-tech companies are at. Ridge placed third. Oh, actually, I take that back. Ridge placed fifth place in that initial competition. So here's the quick story. The French are all upset about this situation. They just got their butts kicked by the Americans.
Justifiably so.
You know what? We saved them many times during world wars. So they can handle it, right? But so they said, well, these wines were young. That's why they tasted better. These wines aren't going to age. They're not going to do anything,
Okay.
So they did the contest 30 years later in 2006.
I
This
didn't
time,
know that.
yeah. So it was the Rejudgment of Paris, it was called. They did it again with the same bottles, now 30 years older, in San Francisco.
Not same vintage.
Same bottle, 30 years older.
Oh,
so same vintage. It's now laid down for 30 years.
Yes.
So these bottles have been laying down. Obviously a lot of wineries hold their bottles back, so there's plenty of that.
The good ones do.
The good ones do.
Yep.
And so San Francisco, they had blind tasting simultaneously there and then simultaneously in Paris. They did the same bottles. The results came out. Guess which winery hit number one for the Cabernet?
I'm going to go with Ridge.
Ridge did. And Ridge, 30 years later, beat out Chateau Margaux, Chateau Mouton Rothschild, like these big first groups. Yeah. And that's what really launched Ridge onto the scene as the premier winery in the United States. And that's why I, as a sommelier, and I'm not a master somm, I'm on my journey just like everybody.
Yeah.
But to me, Ridge does it the right way. They do it in what they call a pre-industrial winemaking style, where they don't add anything but a little bit of sulfur dioxide into the wine just to, kill any bacteria. But they have no additives. Their ingredients are listed on the back of the bottle. It tells you right there what it is. And they make the best Zinfandel in California. So this is from Pagani Ranch, from the Pagani family. And it's a beautiful wine, blackberry, cassis, a little bramble, nice acidity. It's a mixture of 90% Zinfandel. What does it say on the bottle?
5% Petit, Syrah,
Alicante Boucher.
and the Alicante Boucher. I was going to ask you about that.
Go ahead.
Well, my question was going to be, I know there's 90% Zin in this, 5% Petit Syrah. What's the other 5%?
Alicante Boucher,
which I'm not all that well versed on.
It's an interesting grape. It's a Tenturi grape. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it is a very rare grape in the sense that it is a red flesh grape. So it is not just red skin, white flesh.
It's red on the inside.
But it's red on the inside. And so it's primarily used in blending for color. So when you look at this, the color on the glass in here, it is a really rich, dark purple claret color.
I'm only pouring a little bit more so that I can show our YouTube watchers.
Yeah, stick it right up to the camera right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at the color on it. It's a beautiful grape. It is absolutely amazing, but it's primarily used for color. But it does have a lot of that like that sweet spice flavor profile to it. Really nice dark fruit. So what I get on this bottle is just like almost like black currant, like raspberry liqueur. It's just a beautiful wine.
Like a black raspberry.
Yeah,
too.
black raspberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I'm serving at Thanksgiving. Zinfandel for me. So just nice.
I want to. I really do. In fact, by the way, recently, Shelly, I did bring up we should bring one of these Zins from downstairs that we've been sitting on from your daughter. Have a Thanksgiving. She's like, with turkey, it's too big.
Well, I don't know about her Zinfandel or this one. So
it
will go with the prune stuffing.
So last year we didn't make turkey
we
dinner
went to
for the first time. For first time ever.
Did you go to KFC?
No. No, they had chicken, not turkey.
Terraza had a Thanksgiving dinner delivered.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
So we did that, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do that again. There's no leftovers.
My wife and my kids are all at Terraza right now.
Oh,
are they really?
Yeah. My daughter's visiting. She and her twin brother moved to California. When we moved here, they wanted to kind of go back where all their friends were. And so she's visiting with her boyfriend. So I got to meet him today.
When you say boyfriend, is that not really a boyfriend?
No, he's really a boyfriend.
Okay.
But, he's not her husband. So that's why I put it in the boyfriend thing. But this kid's 6'6". Yeah, but that's where they're at right now. So
okay,
tall,
nice.
Tall kid.
Nice.
But Ridge, I don't know if you guys follow Wine Spectator, but they're releasing their top 10 right now.
Yeah.
Ridge Lytton Springs 2023 just hit number 3.
So
this year on
Wine Spectator will release their top 100, and they do it at 10 at a time. Is that
right?
right?
So they'll release their top 10 first, and then they'll release 11 to 100 after. So today they just announced their number 1 bottle of the year. It was a nice little French Bordeaux. Chateau de Giscourt. But Ridge, which has been up there many times, their Lytton Springs Zinfandel was number 3 wine of the world this year.
That's amazing.
I had that way back in the day when I was with the wino.
Yeah, well, if you like wine that is not manipulated, they grow the fruit, and whatever God gives them in the harvest that year is what they make. Paul Draper is the guy that basically came on board early in the early 60s, mid 60s, and really took this business in a new direction by being a guy who said, I'm going to make wine the old fashioned way.
Yeah.
I don't care about big equipment. I don't care about that stuff. This is just juice, is grapes, yeast, and water. Grapes, yeast, and water.
It's the essence of winemaking, right?
Yep.
You still have to do some things when you're creating the wine. You have to do the taste tests and all that stuff.
Assemblage.
Exactly.
Yep.
But then you bottle it and you stick it away, and you hope you did the right thing.
Doesn't Liberty Lake utilize that kind of system? Liberty Lake cellars. I don't think they add a lot to theirs.
No, they don't.
That's smart.
Yeah, it is smart, and it's also you're putting your winemaking skills right out there, because when you manipulate,
you can hide a lot of flaws.
You can hide a lot of flaws.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
And
there's a lot of that in the market. There's a lot of that juice.
We just had one the other night. I was saying this seems really over extracted, because it was just I can't even describe it, but
it's like liquid jelly.
It's just something like that. Yeah. And it's like, as we evolve in our wine experience and adventure and our road, we've said this recently. It's like, crap, that Chardonnay that we used to have all the time, now I buy it and we pour it, and it's like, it's either getting worse or our palates are changing.
Yeah, palates change over time, huh?
We've been kind of spoiled on some really good wines, and this is very, very good. And so obviously,
this is a 14.6 alcohol, which is actually not very big for a Zinfandel.
Yeah, and why Zins are pretty big in general, right? Is because they typically need to grow in a hot environment, right? Mm-hmm. The fruit gets really ripe. There's a lot of sugar there that's converted to alcohol. So the higher the sugar, typically you're going to get higher alcohols.
Right. Yep.
And some of the residual
later
sugar. Harvest.
Yeah,
this particular bottle is picked very late. This is usually the last of the Zins that Ridge picks.
Got it.
And they typically pick in the mid to late October area. But they just do a beautiful job. If you like wine that doesn't have all the crap in it, A lot of customers come into our stores, and this is what's great about Total Wine and educating customers.
Exactly.
Because people will ask, like, hey, do you have wines without sulfites, right? And so we're like, well, all
Not
wine
if
has
they're made
sulfites,
in
right?
America.
It's naturally
Yeah,
occurring,
that's
right? But they're looking for healthier things. And Ridge is one of those brands that I love to introduce them to.
Yeah.
And we carry a whole portfolio of wines that are made in this style. So in educating our customers and getting them better quality, that's where the industry is going right now. We're pivoting in the industry right now. A lot of the older folks are, unfortunately, the baby boomers are passing away.
You
And
bite your tongue.
yeah, I know. I'm like almost 56. I'm like, oh my gosh, where did it all go?
You're such a child.
I'm such a
child.
such a kid. But the younger generation isn't coming in saying the first thing I want to drink is wine.
Right.
So
And they want these RTDs as well.
correct.
Which
ready to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
it's a shift, and you have to be able to pivot through the shifts.
And
right?
wine will be here forever, and the industry is resilient.
I agree.
But we need to, as industry people, and I would consider you guys industry people because you champion the industry. And I turn a lot of people onto your podcast because it's a lot of it's just people will come in and say, hey, I've been listening to this podcast, Wine Time Fridays, and they talk about a lot of different things and a lot of cool stuff. And can you tell me a little bit more about the wines they talk about? And you were talking about Chris Upchurch, DeLille. Our most popular bottle that we sell is D2.
It's so good.
It's a beautiful little Merlot blend, and it's just delicious. So, but people want more natural wine without all the crap in it.
Yeah.
So that's what I appreciate about Ridge, and appreciate about where we're going. So
we're gonna make a little sign, and we're going to frame it and send it to David at Total Wine. It's going to say, Total Wine, Spokane Valley, as heard on Wine Time Fridays podcast.
It's fantastic. I'm becoming famous every day. I think my wife said before I came, we have those kids at my house right now. My daughter, her boyfriend, and a couple of her friends, right? And so they said, hey, and her boyfriend, Tyler, came up to me and said, Mr. Hoffman. I'm like, oh my gosh, here it is, right? Did you already go to your podcast? Are you about to go? I said, I'm about to go. I said, if you guys want an autograph right now, it's going to be a lot more, because I'm going to be famous after this. They're like, nah, we don't want an autograph.
Last week I was at Fred Meyer, grabbing a steak, grabbing some things for dinner. And I ran into Logan Willoughby.
What a slacker.
Well, he wasn't slacking this particular moment, but I said, this is exactly, I've been wanting to reach out to you and see about getting another one under your portfolio.
Yeah.
And he said, how did that episode go with David? I said, with Total Wine? He says, yeah. I said, well, we're actually, recording that.
Yeah.
Today.
I've been keeping in touch with him. He knows I'm here today.
Yeah.
He's not a slacker. This is one of the hardest working guys.
And he was moving wine, pushing it around.
He is one of the hardest working guys I've ever met in the industry. We'll get to Browne because fortunately Browne's one of our wines that we're going to be tasting today. And I love Andrew Browne. But Logan is one of those guys in the industry that really cares about customer relationships, and selling good wine. And so, good guy.
I tied his tongue because I'm like, we need to get somebody else on. He says, well, I don't know if I can get anybody else up. I said, well, we'll have to bring you from behind the camera to in front. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
John Freeman, though, he's fun.
Well, we had John on, and every time, every few minutes, Logan would chime in from, the lurker from
the
behind.
Side.
Exactly. We're going to take another break, the last one, right? We have two sponsors. We're going to take a break. Now we're going to get to some wines that this Ridge is fantastic.
Beautiful.
I'm not going to lie. I've been looking forward to the Dossier.
All right.
And
we're going to
start there, and then we're going to end up with that Browne Premier Collection Petit Verdot when we come back.
Oh, beautiful. Welcome back. Episode 292, the Holiday Wine Survival Kit with me, David Hoffman from Total Wine, and Phil and Shelley. They said I could introduce us back into the episode. So
this is the first time in Wine Time Fridays history that a guest has ever done this. In fact, we're going to start doing that more because they do a lot better job than us.
I doubt that.
2023 Thank you, David. Oh, dump bucket.
Well, I'm pretty excited. I was talking to my brother the other day. My brother.
God, that's so good. Sorry,
I told you.
That.
So I have a brother in Texas. His name's Todd. His kids call him Second Dinner Todd. Because he's always waking up in the middle of the night.
You're not going to give him any?
Well, he doesn't seem to want it.
Yeah,
His glass is way
please
the
do
heck over there. Okay.
He always gets up at night and leaves and gets an extra meal. Goes to like Jack in the Box or something. Like, you had dinner like 2 hours ago. What are you doing, Second Dinner Todd?
Second Dinner Todd. That's so funny.
He's a great guy. He's the only sibling in our family that's an actual millionaire. Never graduated high school, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and owns a heating and AC business in Dallas where everybody needs heating and AC. But
well, the latter part, yes.
Yeah, AC for sure. But this is a bottle that I've been talking to him about, because the next time he comes out, when we go down to Walla Walla, he's never had the opportunity to go to Dossier. And I will tell you this is the hottest winery in Walla Walla right now.
Oh my God.
Really?
Did you smell this?
So
I didn't.
You guys are smelling their Syrah. This is a 98 pointer from James Suckling. Dossier. I don't know if you guys. What do you guys know about Dossier?
I know Sidney Rice is the owner. He used to be a receiver for the Seahawks, and we're hoping because we know somebody that knows the GM and higher ups at Dossier, Brandon,
yep.
who keeps refusing to respond to my emails, but
they're going to help you out. So
we're going to get
them
hoping to get Sydney on as a part of our From Games to Grapes series that we do.
Because you guys had Damon Heward.
We did just have him on.
That's with Dan Marino, right? Passing Time.
Exactly.
And we sell their wines, and their wines are fantastic.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Drew Bledsoe.
We had both Damon and Drew on for an Apple Cup episode the year before the Pac-12 went down to the Pac-2.
Oh my gosh. What happened to Pac-10, man?
So
back in the day.
Pac-8.
Pac-8.
Way back.
I remember. Pac-8, then Pac-10.
Who's in the Pac-8? Let's name them. We got Oregon,
USC,
Oregon State.
UCLA.
Yeah.
Oregon State. Washington State.
There's six.
The
Cal and Stanford.
Yeah, Cal, Stanford.
And then we brought in Arizona State. We brought it up to 10.
Yeah.
And then who was the other two? You would think I would know this.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado, was it a Colorado team or
what the heck?
Who knows?
Who
We'd have to use the internet.
Yeah, we don't want.
We're wine people. We're not Pac-10, Pac-12.
Well,
Pac-8
now it's
people.
Pac-2. Anyway,
this is not James Suckling. This is Jeb Dunnick. I made a mistake. So
Jeb does
He does.
A nice job.
No slight.
Yeah.
So 98 pointer. This is the third vintage for Dossier. So let me paint a little picture about Dossier. Number one, these guys are amazing. This winery is absolutely amazing. Their first vintage.
Who's the winemaker?
Billo Navarone.
Okay.
Billo owns his own winery called Rasa, R-A-S-A. He is a master of wine. Graduate, I believe, of Stanford University. Super smart guy. You've heard of that school.
Yeah.
And he's the winemaker. Their first vintage, I think it's their Cabernet, like their index bottle, was Wine Spectator's number 38 wine of the year last year.
Wow.
So
That's the first bottle.
Out of 100, yeah.
That
was their first vintage, 2021.
Wow.
We're on their third vintage right now. Every bottle is highly rated. This is a 98 pointer right here, Syrah.
100%?
It is 100% Syrah. It comes from Scarling Vineyard, Connor Lee, and the Navarvain estate. Some of the fruit in this comes from the Rocks district. So
you get that rocks minerality.
You get that minerality and some of that.
That's the Savaya.
Savaya's down there.
A lot of stuff there, yeah.
Roti is down there. So the Rocks district, if most people don't know, it's just up to almost 200 feet of just river rock that go into the ground, and these vines just try to find water, and
which is good.
You want that.
Exactly. I think people. I mean,
how can you grow grapes here?
Oh, I know. Give it everything it needs.
Yeah. Exactly. We love to garden when we get sunlight and sunshine, and get our hands dirty. And you think, just give it water, right? But with the vines, they need to work for that to make that fruit the most it could be.
You want to stress them out. That's why old vines, like old vine Zinfandel, like this is what's cool about that last wine we had, that Ridge, is Pagani has vines from the late 1800s.
Yeah.
And so these
140, 150 years old.
These vines don't produce as much fruit, but the fruit that they do produce is super concentrated. So the phenolics on them are absolutely amazing. So that's why Old Vine Zin is really sought after. But with that said, here with the Rocks District in Walla Walla, technically in Oregon, but it's part of the Columbia Valley.
It's like right there.
It's right there on the border. These wines have very succinct flavors of like bacon fat.
Bacon fat. That's funny.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
Like if I could drink bacon, I would.
Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't drink bacon? I love bacon. I love bacon. Like plum and like pork fat, mole, pomegranate, like these dark, just very conscious. It is such a beautiful wine. And so, Brett works on this team, the guy that we were talking about earlier with his Albariño, Billow, obviously, and they are doing amazing things right now. I cannot keep their wines in stock. Yeah, so I urge like anybody listening to this podcast who wants like a beautiful Syrah or a beautiful Cabernet for the holidays, this is what I'm recommending.
So let's talk about the food pairings for this, because I honestly feel like this would also go well with turkey, but it's also going to go a little deeper, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a little heavy for turkey. This would be something though that I tell people, like, listen, don't worry about the pairing so much. This is the snobbiness of wine that kind of gets in the way. If you love Syrah, drink freaking Syrah.
And then you won't taste the turkey.
Yeah.
The dry turkey.
Then take a swig of water and then have some turkey, Like,
what would you pair with this then?
Anything big, like a big, like elk steak, venison, like at Beverly's. We were at Beverly's earlier this year, like tenderloin of like buffalo, like, just those gamey kind of meats are really good. But a normal burger, I always tell people at our store, some people get really like triggered. I'm like, what would be really good is like
big juicy bacon cheeseburger.
A double from In-N-Out, and either you never had In-N-Out before, or you had it and you can't get it up here. But we're getting close in Idaho with In-N-Out. But
I think so. Yeah, I was at Dick's last week in Seattle.
Good burgers.
I mean, and so my son-in-law Brian was. So is this like In-N-Out? I'm like, yes, but not in taste. They're completely different things.
So what did he say?
Well, I mean, he liked it okay. This is how I order it In-N-Out. I have a cheeseburger, I'll have a special, and I'll have a deluxe.
You'll have a double.
No, at Dick's.
You mean,
cheeseburger, a special, and a deluxe. Always do the three.
Yeah.
Okay, and then fries, and I didn't get my Coke.
Tiny hamburgers.
Well, yeah, they're not huge.
He's a big guy. Not big, but he's tall.
Careful.
Careful. That's why I said tall.
Careful now. In-N-Out, very fresh. But their reputation is very similar.
Yeah.
That's where I come from.
Yeah, I love In-N-Out. I grew up with In-N-Out, so I just love In-N-Out. So I always try to get people a little.
Do you stay in line? Because the lines are hideous.
They are. I mean, in the newer markets, they are. But if you know where to go, you don't have to worry.
People tell me where to go all the time.
Yeah, I mean, in California, they're everywhere. So I could roll out of bed, in California and go to In-N-Out in 2 minutes.
When we're driving back, and it's like, I think there's an In-N-Out the next. And it's like 30 cars. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I love the burgers. Yeah. I am not doing it. So I leave Shelly there, and I go get something from Jack in the Box, and then when I come back, she's like,
Garden Grove is a good one. They don't have wine.
Yeah. When I drive down back to California when I have to go, I think my wife's a little upset at me right now because I just got a personalized license plate with the snake on it. Don't tread on me. And it says like Second Amendment on it. She's like, why did you get that? And my wife is pro gun, right? She's pro 2A. She's a God-fearing woman. She's beautiful. Raised 4 kids, homeschooled.
You should have led with beautiful.
Well, she's all of that.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Just saying.
That's what attracted me to her. Funny. She's all those things, and I love her to death. But she's like, why did you get that? And I'm like, why? What are you talking about? She's like, well, I can't drive your car back to California because I got to drive through Oregon. I'm like, well, maybe they'll stay away from you a little bit more this time.
Maybe. I was like, thinking, why? What's the problem? We're in Idaho. You travel.
Yeah, you have to travel. So, let's go back to the wine because I cannot get over the smell on this bottle. I mean, the aroma on it. What do you guys think about
I'm
Dossier?
gonna let
Very
Shelly
nice.
talk about this because
I
honestly,
love
I didn't.
Syrahs, and this one's great. So my favorite Syrahs are usually McLaren,
Oh yeah, from Australia. Huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
but this is very close to that.
I love this bottle. So the guys at my work know when I talk to my customers when they come in, this is the one bottle in my store for wine that keeps me awake at night.
In what
Why?
regard? Why?
In what regard? It haunts me because when I don't have any,
Oh.
I get really frustrated.
How many cases are they producing then?
They don't produce a ton.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I mean, Brandon would know. Brett would know. It's not a lot. I mean, they have 2 tasty rooms, one in Walla Walla and one in Woodinville. Sidney Rice, Super Bowl winner,
Yeah.
played at Minnesota, played in Seattle.
Well,
very
whatever,
famous.
Minnesota, but yeah,
We don't care about Minnesota. The Vikings. Yeah.
Would you say?
Adrian Peterson.
Back in that
I
day.
loved him.
Yeah.
But-
Adrian Peterson got a bad rap, but Minnesota, as we all know, does not know how to keep a decent quarterback.
That's true.
Thank
Minnesota.
you, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Oh.
Yeah.
Came from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Wow.
Minnesota.
So yes, 3 vintages on this wine. They're already getting great scores. You can't keep their wines in stock.
So it's only sold. Let me back up. So I was pivotal in helping get Dossier into our stores here in Washington. I ended up, going down to Walla Walla. My sister and I are members at Cayuse.
It's good job security when you can be
It
pivotal.
is. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. My sister Shelly, she always gets mad. Shelly, my sister Shelly, she always gets mad because I always claim fame to our membership together at Cayuse. Her name is officially there, but I introduced her to Cayuse. So we were going down there for Cayuse weekend, and we stopped by Dossier, and Brett's sitting there, and I'm like, wait a second, I know who you are. We met at Laguna Cellars a year ago.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I'm all, what are you doing in here? He's like, I'm the assistant winemaker now.
Wow.
So not only Billow, right, this master wine crafter, but Brett Brockmeyer, a younger guy, forward thinking, just, does crazy stuff, but makes beautiful wine. They're producing the best wine, in my opinion, out of Walla Walla. And so we sell it at my store. I've gotten it in all our stores in Washington. We cannot keep it in stock. So when people come in, if we have it, we have it. But I consistently order and try to bring it all in. And it's just small production, high quality. That's why you got a 98 pointer on this one.
Probably like 2,500 cases or something.
Yeah. I mean, we can find out, but
I'm just
they do
curious
a great
because
job.
if you're selling through them. So I've got the price point from the winery because I couldn't find it on, that makes sense.
At
You
Total
may
Wine?
be out of it. Yeah, but Total Wine, do you have an idea of what you're
Yeah. So we charge $79.
It's a whole dollar difference.
It is. Is it a winery? It is a winery partner. So, we kind of help take some of the distribution costs off their plate.
Oh, good.
But with that said, that wine is eligible for a discount too. So when Total Wine and More runs their little Mix 6 discounts, sometimes if you have the app that you download on your phone, and you can get up to 20% off these wines.
Ooh, I like it.
You can get this bottle for what? $16-$17 off.
Yeah.
And that's what I really appreciate about Total Wine. They do an amazing job at bringing like really high-end wine to customers and able to discount them at different times depending on the holidays.
Yeah.
And this is one of those examples to me that just really express the Rocks district, but in a balanced way. It's not 100% Rocks where it's like funky.
Speaking of funk,
Okay.
Savaya.
Yeah.
But-
you like Savaya's?
Yeah.
Syrah?
I love their Malbec too, but
Yeah.
you're right. It's the Syrah is growing
In the
a lot
rocks,
in the rocks.
yeah. And
So-
you get that kind of funky, almost like that olive tapenade flavor
Oh, yeah.
profile. I have a guy that worked at my store. Jay Frogness is his name. He's here in Rathdrum, and he was a nuclear engineer for the Navy. And I'll tell you, this is one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life. But he was a certified sommelier working at my store, and was super passionate. And what he knew best was Washington wine. So took me under his arm when I first came on board with Total Wine. And, my experience was, Italian wines and California wines, and really taught me a lot about Washington wine, and said, you know what, when you taste these Rocks Syrahs, they're going to taste like olive tapenade, and they're going to taste like bacon fat.
It's
And
just so good.
Yeah, it's
The
beautiful.
legs on this too. Not that
Yeah.
means necessarily anything, but it's always fun to
It
see.
means it's got some alcohol in it.
What
A
is the
little
alcohol
bit.
in this? I
Huh?
couldn't find that.
The alcohol? It's going to be, I think it's around 15.
Let's
seems-
just see.
The guys at Dossier will be mad at me that I don't know it.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a nice thing to know as a rule of thumb.
Is it on
sort
the
of thing.
front? I
It's
might
there
have
somewhere.
the text sheet on it.
Let's see if we can find the
I was looking at
alcohol
that and I couldn't
first.
find it.
Let's just say it's going to be anywhere from 14.5 to 15.
Well, they legally have to have it on
It
the
is
label,
definitely on there. It's either hiding on the side or hiding in the front.
Oh, it's right here.
What's it say?
You can.
Well, I mean, the font is 0.0001 point font. I don't even know if your young 56-year-old
Yeah,
eyes
no,
can.
my eyes are starting to go away.
Yeah.
So I can just drinking it. I can tell it's got some alcohol to it,
Sure.
right? Obviously, it's probably
Yeah.
closer
But it's
to 15.
balanced.
But it's a very balanced rock Syrah. You know, Syrah from the rocks area can be quite funky. This is some of the fruit is from the rocks. Most of it's going to come from Connor Lee, the Navarrete vineyard in Columbia Valley. And this is one of the most balanced, delicious Syrahs I've ever had.
It's so far, this entire lineup has been really,
Super good.
really good. I want to say we're actually, because you said here in Rathdrum, we're not actually in Rathdrum. We're in Hayden. We are
We're
at
close
the
to
business zone,
Mhm.
and actually Next Level Consulting, their offices here in Hayden, as a thank you to Judy Tebow. Yes,
He's
part of
related.
Tim Tebow's family.
Is she related to Tim Tebow?
Well, her husband
Her
is.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So,
So-
yeah, cool.
Can you tell us a little more about the Pick Six program?
The
Because-
Mix Six? Yeah, really cool.
And it doesn't happen all the time?
It happens all the time.
Okay.
So Total Wine, it's the largest privately held wine store alcohol company in the United States. We sell more champagne than any other retailer in the States,
Wow.
including Costco.
Wow.
We have a dozen or so Grand Cru champagnes. We sell more champagne than anybody in the United States.
There
and
you
as-
go. There's our supplier for
Yeah.
French Fry
Definitely.
Champagne Day.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'll totally take care of you guys. We'll get you some champagne, but we carry all kinds of wine from all parts of the world. There's really nothing. I don't want to say there's really nothing we don't carry, but as a company, there's really nothing we don't carry.
Sure.
So but the Mix Six program is basically incentivizing you to buy 6 different wines and get a 10% discount
Yeah.
off those wines. Very common in the industry. But what's even better is a lot of these wines we curate and that I help curate sometimes at the store. These are wines that are eligible for more than just a 10% discount at the Mix
Oh.
Six, sometimes up to 20% off. And so these are wines that come straight to us from the wineries, called Winery Direct. And these are wines that are made by, very famous wineries. I have bottles of Camus at my store that are eligible for 20% off.
Wow.
Like, there are all kinds of wines that are eligible. So Total Wine and More, I think for me, this is what I've envisioned my career to finish at, because I look to retire in the next seven years or so.
Aren't you nice?
Yeah,
I didn't
I
mean to
know.
hiccup during that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I've always wanted to finish it in the wine industry. Wine is such a beautiful thing. I think God is, very, very smart in the sense that, he knew kind of what we would like and enjoy and gave us the fruit of the earth to be able to make those beautiful drinks.
And he's blessed it all the way through the Bible.
Yeah,
Yes.
all the way
All the way through the
beginning
Bible.
to the end.
Yes.
And I just love what Total Wine does. But what's miraculous, the Mix Six is just a way to get people to buy some more wine and enjoy more at a better discount.
Yeah. And you want people to try other wines.
Mhm.
I need some more.
Well, you know what? Funny you should say that because
Because?
we are now going to the last wine.
Uh-oh.
So I saved his butt on that one. The dump fill. Say, there we go. Hang on.
I have nothing to dump. I drink it all.
A true wine connoisseur.
Now we're at Browne.
Shelley, you don't have your glasses, so you can't talk about today's Revora wine work of the week.
Well, you said it was tannins.
I did say that.
Yes.
Because it's going to go, I think, with this Petit Syrah, a Petit Verdot. Sorry, my
Verdot.
bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's also dark.
Yeah,
So
let's do that because
the
David's.
tannins are
David loves
from
wine.
the grape skins and the seeds. And if you want to know what tannins are, eat a grape and chew on the seed, and you'll know what tannins
It's
are.
that chalky feel on the back, on the sides of your tongue.
Yeah.
You know, in a sense, it's 20.
Maybe
20.
sort of furry.
Yeah, tannins are great. If you're a novice wine drinker, tannins are what make you upset about
Yeah, probably put you off a little bit, but if
That
you
would-
have tannins with food,
Yeah.
it can. I did a tasting at Chateau Saint Michel, probably 2010, and it was 10 in the morning, and we were there, and we had a Syrah. I remember, and I'm like, the tannins were ripping my tongue apart.
Yeah.
And then we ate some food with that, and the tannins disappeared.
Yeah.
It's amazing what the. So to your point, I think we probably do put too much on wine and food pairings, but the caveat is when you have a really good one,
Yeah.
it's transcending.
Yeah.
Well, this is funny because this one says on their website, if you must have food,
You should probably have food with this one.
it says pair it with blue cheeses, duck, venison, and elk.
Yeah,
If
some
you
of those
must
heavier
have-
ones.
If you must
Yeah.
have food,
Yeah.
that's God bless you, John Freeman.
No, God bless you, Andrew Browne.
And Andrew Browne.
Yeah, Petit Verdot is a beautiful grape. It is primarily a Bordeaux varietal
Yeah,
blending
this
grape.
is a blending grape.
Yeah,
But is this
so
100%?
100% Petit Verdot.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, this is by Browne. I don't know if you guys know this, and this is not too far off the beaten path, but just last week, Browne just got announced from USA Today as the #1 craft distillery in the United States.
Because they have Browne family bourbon.
Bourbon, do a big shit.
Which, by the way,
Yes.
this
By
is
the
a
way.
perfect time to say December 12th down at Terraza. Is it right? Am I right?
It's a Tuesday,
It's their Talk About Tuesday event.
bourbon tasting.
Yeah, that's the 28th of this month. It's the 28th.
Let's see if
It's
I
a
can
week from
do
today. Yeah, I
And
think
that's
it's the
with Browne.
It's with Browne.
That's so cool.
Yep, their bourbon and their
How could it
epic
be
shit.
a week from today?
I think it's the 28th.
That makes no sense.
I think it's the 28th.
Okay.
At Total Wine, we
It's either
have
28th.
we have some of their lab series stuff that we cannot keep in stock. It is out of control. They do a lemon huckleberry vodka, which is outrageously delicious. They do a cold brew espresso vodka, which is ridiculous.
Espresso vodka.
Yeah, cold brew espresso
Wow.
vodka. We just did a store pick with whiskey with them. So our one of our spirits manager, Janine, she went to Browne and tasted a bunch of different barrels there with the Browne team. So with Aaron, who's their distiller, David, who's their distillery room manager. Logan was there cheering her on or whatever.
Of course, Logan was there.
Of course,
Anytime
Logan
he
was
could
there.
put something in his glass.
But we picked a barrel. Janine picked a barrel, and Janine picked what she feels, and I agree because I think Janine has a really good palate to be an amazing whiskey barrel that we're going to be having here right near the holiday as it starts to creep in.
You know what
So,
I'm going to do?
really cool.
When you get that, I want to get a bottle and I'm going to send it to Chris Cochran
Mm.
Oh, yeah. you
on the
want some-
East Coast
Yes.
because he's a bourbon and whiskey guy and a beer guy and a
So
wine guy.
is Tyler's wife.
Oh, Jen might have to get some too.
She might
So
Yeah.
these people that are really close to us never listen to this podcast.
No.
I don't know why.
because they listen to me all the
It's
time.
such
Anyway.
a great podcast, super entertaining. But I know a guy who can help you get a bottle.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
But with that said, this bottle here that we're tasting right now
It's
is
not whiskey.
It's not whiskey,
definitely
no.
not whiskey, and
It's got tannins.
definitely
This has got tannins. I put this perfectly with the wine word of the week.
Yeah, so Shelly, you said tannins come from the skins, the seeds, and the stems of the grape,
yep.
and you're absolutely right. Most of that comes from the skin. The thicker the skin of the grape, the more tannin that's going to be in the wine. And tannin's a good thing and a bad thing, right?
Mm.
It's bad for people who aren't used to drinking wine. It's kind of like taking a wet tea bag and putting it on your palate.
Yeah,
And,
it's great.
You're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what the heck's going on here? My palate doesn't exist.
Which is
anymore.
why she gets really irritated with me when I make tea and I squeeze the tea bag.
Yeah.
And because
You're
I want
more, it's more tannin.
it's fine with me, but she's like, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like, "Because you don't drink it, A, and B, I do." So there we go.
Yeah, but the good thing about tannin is it provides structure to the wine.
Right.
It's going to help deliver
Let it
complexity.
age
Yeah,
also.
it's going to help for aging. And you're absolutely right, Shelley. And so Logan knows this is my favorite bottle that Andrew Browne makes. This is a very small production. I think on the back of that bottle it says how many cases that they make. It's
Yes, 500.
500 cases a year.
Yep.
So
Not much.
it's
14%.
yeah, it's not highly produced. This comes from a pretty special canyon. It's called Canyon Vineyard Ranch in Columbia Valley, 100% Petit Verdot from there. You know, and you guys know Browne. They are the premium producer of wine here in Washington. They're the number one, and they do a great job. The official sponsor wine of the Alaskan Airlines now. So,
You know,
which
we
is pretty
need
cool.
to get Browne on board with Wine Time Fridays too. So let's talk about Andrew Browne
Yeah.
and the relationship, because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am, but he gives John Freeman. John Freeman is still making his wine,
Carte
correct?
blanche. Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much.
But under the umbrella of the scope. Right, exactly.
Yeah. So Andrew Browne, have you ever had an opportunity to meet Andrew Browne?
No.
This is one of the coolest guys in the industry, hands down.
We need to get him on.
We just need to meet him.
I've met Andrew Browne a few times. I've actually had dinner at his house, and I was very humbled to be able to be invited to that. I met his wife, Courtney, and their family. I mean, he owns a beautiful house on Fox Island, off Gig Harbor out there. And and so he kind of grew up in the wine industry in the sense where he learned from his grandfather. His grandfather, William Bittner, he graduated Harvard at 17 years old, something like that.
It's not the same Bittner wines that are here in Idaho.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
but William Bittner, after graduating college, was picked up by the U.S. government to be a spy during World War II. And traveled the world in so many different ways. But when he ended up coming home after the war, Andrew Browne would sit at his grandfather's feet and learn about his stories about wine. And this is how Andrew Browne got the passion for wine.
Yeah.
And so
isn't that cool?
When you think about Browne, at least in our store, I sell more Browne. We sell more Browne at Total Wine and More than anybody else in the state of Washington.
Except for
Browne themselves, right?
That's right.
And so, they make beautiful wine. John Freeman does an amazing job. Their team does an amazing job. But this bottle here is my absolute favorite. And I love the tannin. I love the structure. It's not a novice wine by any means, but this would be a beautiful wine to have after you're done with your turkey.
After you're done. With some blue cheese.
Or even during your turkey or before your turkey.
It just seems like this lineup, give or take, will all work at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah. And every one of these wines will work. And I think if I were to say anything as a wine guy, as a sommelier, as a normal Joe on the street, when it comes to wine, like, let's take the snootiness out of it.
Thank you.
There's a wine for everybody.
Drink what you like.
Drink what you like.
Except for Yellowtail.
Except for Yellowtail.
You guys actually carry Yellowtail?
Of course. Have
Do
to.
you? I mean...
Yeah, because people come in and they want it.
Yeah.
And Total Wine wants to be...
You should actually ban them from your store.
Total Wine wants to be the company that is the wine company for everybody.
That makes sense.
And there's part of an education piece there, but I can't get out of this conversation without mentioning one of my customers. His name is Christian Challey. This guy...
Shout out to Christian.
Christian, he's a super cool guy. He's very well known he negotiates contracts in the electrical industry.
Okay.
But he is an aficionado of fine wine. And so I've been slowly introducing him to some really, really nice stuff. But this guy loves high quality wine.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to provide him Dossier and Browne and all these really cool bottles. And he is so great that he's like, I'll try that. I'll try that. I'll try that.
Good for him.
And then a couple weeks will go by. He'll be like, hey, you know what? I got a little bottle, an extra one. Would you be interested in trading one of your own personal bottles for this? And so we'll do a little trade or whatever.
Nice. Is it so is he leaning a lot towards Washington?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, which is crazy because,
Yeah.
Napa has that industry kind of stigma of being the only state in the business or, area in the business, right?
And it's just
and
no
Washington.
They need a
wine-
Washington, California blind tasting.
They do.
oh, that would be. We should do it.
You guys should totally do that.
Oh, we should. We can do that.
I don't.
I mean, we don't want to make enemies of our California
No,
friends,
not
but
at all.
But that sounds like fun because
I'm sure
honestly,
somebody's done it before, somewhere.
we have a friend of ours that's like, I don't like Washington wines. I don't think she knows what she's talking about.
No, she
Shelley
does.
says she does.
She picks out the Washington wine every time.
Gosh,
I do
It's the
blind
dirt.
tastings at the store.
Yeah.
We have these little jute bags that are numbered, that I got off Amazon. They were like, get 10 jute bags for
Oh,
like
maybe
10,
that's what I should do.
10
instead of
bucks.
those-
And they're numbered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it costs like $10.
Yeah.
And so we'll do blind tastings at our bar. I'll have a California Napa cab and I'll have a nice Washington cab.
Yeah.
And we'll have them, covered and we'll have people taste. And, Washington wine, in my opinion, is highly underrated, number one.
I agree.
But you get so much more quality for the price. And until
Bang for your
Napa,
buck, yep.
until Napa
Definitely.
decides to start dropping their price a little bit,
Which they kind of have to
we're
right now.
seeing,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
With the industry changing. But I love, as a Californian, and I hate to say that. I'm an Idaho guy now for 6 years, but
Yeah, Idaho.
Washington wine is absolutely world class.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And at Total Wine, we carry a lot of Washington wine here in the state, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So Mark Ryan, I'm going to be teaching a wine class here on December 5th at the store.
We should try to do that.
I want you guys to come. So
Because if Mark Ryan is there, he's also ignoring.
he's
my
on your
emails.
list. Yeah. So I'll have 3 wineries there. We're going to have Woodward Canyon.
Oh,
We're going to have the
no.
second
Yeah.
oldest winery in Walla Walla.
we're
We're gonna have
having Rick come.
no, one of the
His daughter.
daughter-in-law. So we're going to have Woodward Canyon. We're going to have Browne. So Logan is going to be there presenting. Andrew won't be able to make it. And then we're going to have Mark Ryan as well. And
Nice.
so these are local producers in Washington that are very famous. And if you're
my schedule.
looking for like really high quality wine from a local Washington producer, these are the wines that Total Wine and More sells.
December 5th, Total Wine,
Yep.
Spokane Valley. Do it.
It's called
Absolutely.
The Wonderful World of Washington Wine. www.
Ooh, it's the 4 W's. I was going to mention when we talk about Yellowtail, I give Yellowtail a really bad rap. And Shelley's
However,
like,
Well
Yeah.
deserved.
well, but
however,
Luke Marquez of the Molly Duker family.
Best wine out in
So
Australia.
good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
He's like, because we had him on and we tasted like 45 of their wines or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a lot of wines
That's
and
a
they're
lot of wine.
16, 17%.
Nothing like my Napa trip, right? 61
No.
producers, 300 something wines.
Luke said, we have a big appreciation for Yellowtail because they brought attention
Yeah.
into Australian
Absolutely.
wine. Now, maybe not the right attention, but still attention in. And so they don't ever badmouth Yellowtail.
no.
Yeah, I think it's what's really cool is Total Wine, trains us to not badmouth
Absolutely.
wineries, right?
Yes.
And so even though I personally don't drink Yellowtail or I don't drink, Francia box wine or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
we have viable options that are better, in my opinion, than these options that compete. We carry a box wine at our store called Big Sipper. That's from Napa.
Mm.
And it's like the same price as Francia,
Mm.
from Central California.
yeah.
So, Total Wine does a
Sipper.
great job there.
Can we just say people's gateway wines come in different shapes and forms?
Absolutely. There's a story behind every one.
Yes, and if that gets someone into the wine world
Yeah.
and they're drinking a Yellowtail Chardonnay and liking it, and then they go and have maybe a Waterbrook Chardonnay, something that is maybe a little bit more money, but vastly different, right?
Yeah.
Why is that not a good thing?
It's a great thing. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll have people come in and they're like, I want a nice high-end Chardonnay. What do they ask for, right? They ask for like a Rombauer or something. I'm like, you know what? Do you know that Rombauer, the head winemaker, a guy named Robert Lloyd, who is like known as the Chardonnay king in Napa, makes his own wines. And we have 4 of them here at our store that I can introduce you to. So, giving people options is
Exactly.
really cool.
Are they big oaky?
They have some oak. Some of them do. He makes 4 different bottles that we sell a lot of. And they mimic Rombauer in many ways. I got to meet him and his wife when we were in Napa and strike up a good conversation. But his wines are delicious. He's not limited by anything.
But the Rombauer model has, because the
They're
trend,
less oaky.
Yeah.
the butter bombs, the oak bombs, they have come off. Thank you. It's about time.
Yeah.
Can we just get some balance, right?
Our number 1 selling white wine in the store is actually an unoaked Chardonnay.
Who's it from?
It's from a little producer out of the Russian River Valley called River Road.
Really?
And his name is Ron Rubin. He is a wonderful man. When we were there in Napa, actually we were in Sonoma on this one, he gave every one of us in attendance, there were 40 of us managers from around the country, a refractometer. And we got to go out into his vineyard and squeeze grapes and do all that kind of stuff. And this gentleman, he gave each one of us his phone number. And he said, anytime you have any questions from a customer about my wine,
we'll need his contact.
And I'll give it to you. Because, he is an amazing guy. But, it's unbelievable to think how, California swang to the big buttery, oaky.
Sure.
And people will come in and I'll say, I don't know, 80% of the people come in when I have Chardonnay on the bar and they're like, oh, I don't drink Chardonnay.
Right.
I don't like Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they don't like the big butter bomb.
Correct.
And they haven't had the right Chardonnay.
They haven't had the right Chardonnay.
Just like Merlot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that you can't say that about Merlot. They say I don't drink Merlot, but it's only because of Sideways.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not drinking that Merlot. I'm not drinking
effing Merlot.
Yeah, but it's funny. At the end of that movie, he was actually drinking
the Bordeaux from the left bank, the right bank.
Yeah, right bank is going to be. But yeah, it was a Merlot, and I think it was intentional. Obviously,
I think it was too. They were very smart about that.
So I wanted to ask you guys one last question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's the interviewer? Who's the interviewee?
So if someone were to ask you what the top 3 wines you have ever had, what would they be? He's got to pull that Petit Verdot by Browne.
One of them.
Shall we go for it?
One of them for me was Woodward Canyon Cabernet.
The Old Vine Cabernet?
No, I don't think it was old, but it's not that old. We've had it 4 years ago, and that was super good. I've always loved Duckhorn Merlot. I want to say
the 3 Palms.
Well,
we just had that. Actually.
In 1970,
on her birthday.
Yeah.
in 1978, Duckhorn Merlot.
I was 8 years old, so I wasn't drinking wine at that time.
That one I liked. And then there was a Sauvignon Blanc from Africa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Like Stellenbosch or...
I could look it up.
It was really good. Jesse was representing that.
Jesse Balsamo. He's not doing that anymore.
No.
Jesse, let's try.
Phil, I know you're going to say something totally different because you're her husband, and we always have to go the opposite way most of the time.
Well, I was looking at my ratings and I can't find it quick enough. But
you remember?
There is a wine that we had with Lindsay and Brian, and it's I can't get it again, but they had brought that or sent that from one of their trips to Europe, and it was
Italian one.
It was so good. But isn't this interesting because wine takes on the flavor of the company and the conversation, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And so
it's an experience.
I know. Yes. And so sometimes we could have a wine that's like, I have never had a wine like this. And then you have that wine down the road. You're like, it's not the same. Yeah. Because that experience of having that with friends and family and conversation.
It marries the experience into your brain.
I'm going to tell you, D2 was right up there for me.
It was on Wine Enthusiasts top 20 or something like that just in the last couple of years.
I had that at the
Beautiful
Metropolitan Grill,
yeah,
DC, God rest his soul. When I ran the valet company, I would go in after hours, not when I was parking cars, but I would go in, they'd pour me this $20 glass of wine.
And you're like, what is this?
Well, and it was so good. And I would bring some wines over to Shelley when she lived here and I was still living in Seattle.
At that time?
Yeah, the courting was past, but you never really stop courting, do you?
Oh, we didn't.
You shouldn't stop.
No. And so that's
I
right.
need to do a better job at courting.
We all do. But connecting the time, is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Mhm.
But I brought this over and she's like, this is really good. And so a Mer Soleil for me, Chardonnay.
Okay, that's by Camus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the D2. Those are the two right up on the top. And that one that Lindsay and Brian, and I can't find it.
But I also loved Cristal.
Oh, yes, you did.
Fancy little champagne girl.
We
It
did
was
that.
So good.
We
It's
did
totally
that on our
terrible.
100th
Is that in
episode.
2001?
It was, I'd have
The
to look
first
it
one
up.
we had. When was that? Can't be
Oh, down,
2001.
yeah, we had that
It
down
couldn't have been
in
that because it was
Santa
in
Barbara.
2001.
down in Solvang.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. We had the Cristal, and she loved that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course you do.
Of course you do.
Why would I think anything different?
We sell Cristal. I have a lot of like high-end clients that come in that, people that are very well known in the industry, or not in the industry, but in the community, like Spokane and stuff like that, who have, money that they can spend on anything.
Sure, yeah.
And I've been able to introduce them to like some Grand Cru champagnes
Yep.
and things like that. And, that's what I really appreciate about Total Wine & More is that we've been able to make those memories for people
Right.
to come back to us and be like, this is the best bottle of wine I've ever had. For me, and I love sharing this with my clients, my guy Christian that I told you about, 1992 Montebello Cabernet blend, Bordeaux blend, was one of the best bottles of wine that I've ever had. We had that at Beverly's. It was such a beautiful little wine, not cheap. I think it was like $600 for a bottle, and that was the best wine that I ever had. And then a really quick story for me is I was in the front of our store, where we have everything locked up and we have all the high-end wines. And
Right.
I had a customer.
That nice little room off the...
right off the side. You
Yeah.
walk by and you're like, man, one of these days. I was talking to a customer of mine. His name is Harry Slatich. Harry is very well known in Spokane. His dad was like president of Gonzaga.
Okay.
He was the Harry.
Probably knows the Volkers.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, Harry knows everybody and everybody knows Harry. But Harry was asking me, so David, you're a sommelier. What are you drinking these days? And, I need a nice little red. And I'm like, oh, that little bottle right there. It's called Bevan Cellars. And Russell Bevan is a guy that grew up here in Spokane, not here in Idaho.
It's a Walla Walla wine, yeah?
Yeah, no. So he's in Napa, actually.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a Cabernet from Russell Bevan, that from his Stag's Leap area, and it was the only wine in my little wine book that I brought with me that I gave 100-point score to.
Really?
And it was my number 2, and then I think my number 3 was from Roti down in Walla Walla. They have a 50 Mervet and a 50 Syrah called Sword Fight that they do, which was an epiphany wine for me for Walla Walla wine.
Isn't that just
unbelievable?
It's so much fun,
Yeah.
and you're always in search of that next one, while still appreciating the past victories, right?
Yeah.
We have our go.
Where does goat roti come from?
Roti or coat roti?
No, there's goat roti.
There's a goat roti.
It's a play on coat roti.
Yeah.
I haven't had that for a long time, and I was trying to think. I think it's a California wine.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt. California does a lot of screwy things.
As we know.
As we've covered a little bit in this
as we all
episode.
know today.
We have our Wine Time Fridays ready system right here, and ours is alliteration. We're going to go from the bottom up.
Okay.
Because we haven't talked about this for a while. Plech.
What?
Plech.
Plech?
Yeah, that's pitiful and pathetic. It's got the puke emoji. Okay? We've only rated one wine that. Problematic. The emoji is the zipper across the mouth.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are okay. We have pleasant, a little licky, pretty damn good, the little hearts around the hug. Practically perfect. Now, by the way, pretty damn good. Sam Lang coined that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lola.
Yeah.
I like Sam.
Yep. Sam's a great guy.
Sam sold me. We were at Beverly's one time. He sold us, my brother, the millionaire. We went down into the cellar in Beverly's.
And is it a little underwhelming, that cellar, isn't it?
Definitely not. I mean, there's wine everywhere.
Well, there's wine, but it's a small little space.
It's tight, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't get an opportunity to go in there.
No.
My brother, Sam was the somm at the time there, and my brother said, hey, we want to buy a couple nice wines. Can you get us in there? My brother is pretty persuasive in times. And I love my brother more than anything. He's like my best friend, along with my friend Shane, who lives in California, unfortunately. So we're trying to get him out.
He'll come up.
Yeah, he'll come out.
Shane will come to better judgment.
Shane is. He's my best friend. He's my brother, and then my brother-in-law Dan. But anyways, we were at Beverly's, and my brother said, "Hey, we're going to buy a couple nice wines." And Sam's like, "Hey, let's go down to the cellar." And,
this is like ka-ching.
He's all ka-ching. And so we ended up picking up. We got a 1994 Ridge Montebello because we're big fans of Ridge, and then we bought a Clips Sun Cabernet from the Clips Sun vineyard in Washington. But with all that said, Sam knows what he's doing. He's amazing, super smart guy.
So I have to say this.
What?
So we've had Sam on maybe 3 times.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, and we had we went in the owner's box back in the day when we could actually have lunch there in the owner's box during Shelley's birthday week.
Oh,
but they don't serve lunch anymore. So there you go.
Have to go to Terraza.
Well, and we do.
And Terraza's great.
It is great. But we were in there recording with Sam, and it was a kind of a Zinfandel because Zinfandel Day was around the corner. So we did a lot of Zins. And I brought, it was a Chapelet.
Oh, Chapelet.
Chapelet, but it wasn't a
Philip
Zinfandel.
Titus.
It was a Pinot Noir.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's pretty rare.
So I brought this because we were doing some work with Cuvée Collective at the time. We brought this in a brown bag, and I poured it, and I'm like thinking full on, when he doesn't get this, I'll just edit it out, right?
Yeah.
And so he poured, I poured it, he tasted it. I'm like, because we had a lineup of Zins. He said, I'm not okay. I'm kind of getting a Pinot Noir from maybe Russian River. And Shelley and I were both going, are you freaking kidding me?
It's unbelievable.
And he nailed this thing.
That's unbelievable.
Yes. And
Because
so
it could be a Chapelet.
the sommeliers that have gone through multiple levels of this.
Yeah, up to Master Somm and all that. Yeah.
They know what they're talking about.
Most of the time. They've been duped before too, but you're exactly right. Yeah.
And I was fully ready to just
laugh at him.
Well, I would laugh at him and I'd pull all that out. But in this case, he nailed it. And I was just like, praise the Lord.
I think I've nailed it like 3 times in my career. Like the varietal, like where it comes from. And it's not easy to do. And I think one of those things that like turn people off is because like, oh, I got to be a pro to be able to figure wine out. And
no, you don't.
Here's
what you have to be able to do.
Enjoy it. That's all.
Decide if you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the bottom line. Decide if you like it or not. Our top one is phenomenal. Another P.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So are you going to rate any of these wines today?
You know, I would love to rate them right now. I would say all of these fall in the phenomenal and practically perfect.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, with me.
I'm so excited.
I'm not even lying. This is Shelley?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I picked these wines because they all mean something to me. And I think, when it comes back to like, you're talking about that kit, like that safety kit or that, holiday kit that people need for the holidays. What do they do when they don't know? And I think, Total Wine is, a big company. When you walk into the doors, it can be overwhelming, there are people there that are highly trained.
Right.
There are sommeliers on staff in many stores, not all stores.
Sure.
In my store, I am the sommelier there. I'm studying my WSET 3 right now. I'm a total wine professional, total spirits professional. Many years in the industry, I managed a portfolio. With all that said, we are there to help people find what they're looking for and sometimes be able to introduce them something new. And when I met Phil, when he came in, I was like, this guy knows a little bit about wine.
A little bit. The key is a little bit.
This guy knows a little bit about wine. So I was really excited to talk to him about it, And little did I know you were famous.
Basically, I would say worldwide, if not universal.
What? Famous?
In my own mind.
I
go in because here's the deal. I'll go into a wine store, and I think sometimes these stores get a bad rap that they're just about volume.
Yep, volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, good example. You go into a restaurant and they say, what would you like to drink? And I will ask, what do you recommend? And they will say, this one is our best seller.
Yeah. I'm not interested in that one.
Okay. Have you had it? No. But people buy a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's the Kendall Jackson Chardonnay, isn't it? Okay. Again, no disrespect.
No diss.
Because
Number one selling Chardonnay in the country.
Exactly. And you know what? You know what you're getting.
Yep.
Bottle after bottle
Yep.
after bottle. And that is great. They've blazed a model that works for them.
I have better wine than that at my store.
For probably
for the same price.
At or below.
Yep, absolutely.
Because it's all about the value of the wine brings, right? So walking into a store such as Total Wine, I will gauge the conversation I have with the staff person, the salesperson, right? And I just happened to run into you.
Yeah.
And it was serendipitous because we had a really good conversation right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fantastic. What do you do here? Well, I do this. It's like, we have a wine podcast.
Yeah. I was really blessed. I mean, I love wine. It's my passion.
Yeah.
Total Wine, I think, is the company for me in the sense that they are passionate about wine more than they are in anything. And so it's what they started their business on. And the owners of our company just go above and beyond in spending money to make sure we know what we're talking about, to make sure that we have the best prices, that make sure we have the best selection than anybody. And I get it. Sometimes, people will say, oh, the Walmart of wine or whatever, right? And you don't want to go there. But like, we are normal people who want to see your smiley face come in our store, and we want to introduce you to what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And maybe something new.
Exactly. Just
at the best price possible.
Yeah, that's what Wine Time Fridays is all about. Introducing new things. Shelley, do you have anything to add before we put a bow on this?
Well,
I haven't asked you that for a while.
Yes, well, this could be our second longest episode.
I don't think so.
Let's make it our first.
Well,
we'll go for another 3 hours.
So let's dive deep into how you're feeling right now. No,
I'm feeling great. I love what we're doing. I love that we're promoting wine, and I love that people want to shop for good wine and learn about good wine. And we're here to help them.
Why do you have this picture?
Well, because okay, you just let the cat out of the bag.
Sorry.
I was going to say some wines we enjoyed this week. We had the Talaya Chardonnay, the Cinder Rosé of Cenci.
Cenci, yeah. Love Cenci.
Yep. And it's really good.
Idaho wine.
I bet it's delicious. I've never had it.
Cinder?
It's good.
No.
Yeah.
You've not had Cinder wines.
No.
Do you carry Idaho
wines?
wines?
I do carry some Idaho wines at our store. But people in Washington love their Washington wine.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
and you should.
But I do carry some Idaho wine.
Idaho is making some really good wines
no
right
doubt.
now. And like Revora,
Revora's fantastic.
I know. And they're all estate. And it's like fantastic. Cinder is a new sponsor. We have that rosé, and yes, as you said, the Rombauer Chard, which we did open, and it's less oaky these days.
Yeah, it's owned by Gallo now. They sold off in December. So
just recent,
last December,
semi-recent,
like almost a year
ago.
now.
Okay.
So we had the CEO of Rombauer at our store. Actually, I forget his name, but he left his card with me. I got to talk to him a little bit. And he was there as a kind of a going around, making sure people kind of knew what was going on in the industry. There's been a lot of change in the industry. Things change. So.
People are getting bought out by like 2 or 3 different,
it happens.
It does happen.
It was a Constellation.
Constellation's a big one. But Gallo's the big one, and Rombauer's now owned by Gallo. But with that said, we sell Rombauer, but more importantly, we sell all Rob Lloyd's wines, who was the head winemaker there for a while.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by that.
Yeah.
And I did want to say this Muscadet from the Clos de la Bourgogne.
Bourgogne? I can't. Oh, I can't see what the last word is.
Well, it's AIS, Bourgogne.
Does it mean Burgundy?
Probably. This was from the Gary V Wine Club. It was a $30 Muscadet that, honestly, we don't know a lot about Muscadet. And
that's very nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah, it grows in the Loire Valley. It's a beautiful grape.
Yeah, and it was not sweet like I thought it might be.
It can be different levels of sweetness.
Yeah.
So,
I also wanted to say, coming up November 24th, we are on the 21st right now. So 3 days from now, International Carmenere Day.
Oh,
yay,
love it. You guys like Carmenere?
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
We have Lost Bordeaux varietal.
Yep.
Exactly.
We've had people argue about
We
that.
have had
What
people
did they
argue.
say?
Well, here's the thing. We used to pour at Vintage Spokane.
Let's educate them.
And it's like, you try not to be pompous, right? I
Yeah.
try not to.
Yeah.
And this one is like, no, there's only 5 Bordeaux grapes. I'm like, well, there's actually, 6 because
Yeah.
Carmenere. No, there's not. I'm like,
yes, there is.
I don't really want to get into this right now. I'm supposed to be pouring wine.
We do a lot of Carmenere and Walla Walla.
Oh,
A ton.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, again, Brad Benko, Drink Washington State's got a Carmenere that is really delicious. And so it's so
And
much.
Contos.
Yeah, Conto Cellars, yeah.
Contos makes Carmenere.
Yeah, that's the first Carmenere we purchased.
Ooh, I didn't remember that.
They
Yeah,
were in
if
the
you've
Inca
never had
River.
Carmenere, they thought it was like a Merlot hybrid back in the day. So, Carmenere was the lost Bordeaux varietal.
Yeah, because of Phlox.
Flocks were late
200
1800s.
plus years ago.
Yeah, 1800s, right? Late 1800s, like 75% of Europe's vineyards died off
Yep.
because of this little bug, killed it, came to the United States. We gave them everything we had, but we didn't have Carmenere.
Also went to Chile, right?
Yeah, so we didn't give them Carmenere, but at some point somebody brought it to Chile, and at the time they thought it was like this new Merlot hybrid grape. But in actuality, in 1994, we figured it out
Yeah.
with DNA
Yep.
testing that it was actually Carmenere, and it's soft, plush,
That's
subtle flavors of like
So good.
jalapeno or
So
green
good.
pepper. So good.
yeah.
One of the best grapes out there.
I have really been a Cab Franc guy.
I love
okay?
it. Love
And
it.
then Carmenere right underneath. And
Love
then I started drinking some of this Red Mountain Malbec. And so that's coming in. And now Shelley's on the Zin bandwagon. So there's enough room to have favorites for all
You
of
And
you.
it can change.
It's like your kids. Like,
I know.
this kid's doing great this day. I love them the best. Then maybe the next week, this one. There's room for everybody.
It's
My love
what's
is,
in your glass.
What's in my glass today?
So Carmenere Day on the 24th, December 4th, National. Go speak of the
Cabernet
devil.
Franc.
Cabernet Franc Day. The 16th International Pinot Meunier.
Meunier.
Damn
Meunier.
it. I'm so close.
Not Meunier.
Meunier. It's Meunier. Pinot
Meunier.
Meunier. It's
I'm-
one of the 3 grapes from Champagne.
I'm getting there. I'm getting close.
I don't speak French.
No.
I just speak wine.
And of course, the 31st, one of the 15 National Champagne Days, which makes sense on the 31st. God, I can't believe we're talking about this already. It was like yesterday we did French fries and Champagne Day
Oh my
at
gosh.
Seasons with all of our friends
The
doing
smocks.
that. Yeah,
I love them.
here's the thing. We keep adding people for that episode. We should probably include David this year.
Yes, of course.
I would love to come.
Where are
So
we
we've
going
got
to-
Sarah and Mark Lathrop.
Yep.
Kurt and Joy Grady. They used to own Bottle Joy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam, who got sick last year,
You did.
couldn't make it.
Come
And
on,
then-
Sam.
Come on. Well, Sam will make it.
We could
And-
get Justine. Justine, Justine was the Som at Beverly's after Sam. She was there for a year. She and her mom own a wine store in Spokane Valley called Cellars. Cellars and Scholars.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. And
Nice.
she does
Yeah,
an
nothing.
amazing job there curating like little small wineries, upside down wineries, and
Yeah.
really cool stuff. So
Well, we had Daniel Bentley, who was the GM at Seasons.
And Mark and Sarah.
I said Mark and Sarah.
You did?
Yeah, Mark. I led with them.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, Shelley and Phil.
Yeah.
Shelley and Phil are the most important.
Well, in Phil's mind.
No, the one who made the French fries was the most important.
That's right.
McDonald's.
Well, and here's
No,
the
it
thing.
was Seasons.
There-
Seasons, yeah.
They were bringing fries out. It was really good. But the
Oh,
more people,
Seasons,
then we have to bring the
so
camera.
good. Their food's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it's
I love the smocks. They are great. So
it's such a great place. So good. What to expect next Friday on the 28th, other than
Black
Shelley
Friday.
dancing, other than the fact we have to be at the resort to finish up the Festival of Trees. It is also Black Friday. And so we don't know what we're going to have for Black Friday, Shelley. We don't
Because it'll be on
know.
sale.
Sale wines.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the whole
lots
like,
of sales on Black
We
Friday.
have never done port, so we need to do
Oh,
that.
maybe we should. We have plenty of ports downstairs, and we should maybe do that.
Do we
I-
have the 1975
No,
Sterling Light Zinfandel port still?
that's gone.
All gone? Oh.
Yeah,
Phil drank it all.
no, the 81.
No, it was 75.
I think it was 81.
It was not.
Well, we'll have to look. It's between 75 and 81. A Sterling port that
Like
Shelley had,
Zinfandel port.
a Zinfandel port,
Wow.
and we're like not expecting anything.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Port is so good.
Yeah.
People don't know. They've never had it. A lot of people in the United States have never had port.
Yeah.
They just think,
I never liked sherry, never liked port. It's because I never liked asparagus either. And then you have asparagus prepared and cooked correctly, like steamed, and you're like, this is how it's supposed to taste. This is fantastic.
With bacon on it.
Well, you can say with bacon on it on almost anything, really, and be good.
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese with bacon on it. Scrambled eggs with bacon on it. So next week we're doing Black Friday. Again, a huge thanks to today's sponsors. Speak of the Devil, Seasons of Coeur d'Alene, and J. Bookwalter Wine. And of course, the Rivora Wine Word of the Week was tannins. Our friends at Rivora, we love them. This could be our second longest episode in Wine Time Friday's history.
Well, we got some laughs. We got some great wine.
Oh, the bell is ready.
We learned about Total Wine.
And
Yeah.
Shelley didn't look over to me once and go,
Good job, Shelley.
with a little bit of knowledge, wine becomes a lot less overwhelming. Thank you so much,
Thank
David,
you.
for coming. This is
my pleasure.
fantastic.
We had a great time, huh?
Go visit him. Look him up at, okay, there we are. We'll see you next week on Black Friday.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets, for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you. To health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.